Hey everyone, I don't know if I am on or whether you can hear me or whether I can be seen. Thank you for being here. This video is specifically for the members of the elite. Now, it's not the let's say I'm talking to the human counterpart, the kind of relatable in some way part. That's the part that I'm speaking to. I'm not speaking to any of the implants. I'm not speaking to any of the artificial life forms. I'm not speaking to any of the holographic constructs of who the elite are behind the scenes. I am talking to the human person. Now, it strikes me as a little bit odd as to why people would be trying to rid the world of negative behaviour by acting negatively. Now, this stands for all people, not just a select few. As a group of people, if you see something you don't like, then you react one way or another. The truth is, we're not supposed to be reacting one way or the other. Now, with regards to the activities that these people get up to, what needs to be understood is that everybody is here for a purpose. Now, our purpose might be the purpose to notice the things in the world that we don't like. So, on a collective level, we are all noticing things that we do not like. Now, if we had never come across this kind of subject, then how could we then decide what it is that we like or do not like? I know that there are some horrible activities from the point of view of a human life. I know that. I'm not disputing that there are things that are completely unnecessary, completely unwanted, completely unasked for. However, it has to be understood that because we create our reality on a collective and individual level, that the whole reason we cannot judge is because we ourselves are part of it. If you are coming across something, regardless of whether you like it or not, it is there to highlight something to you, not to anyone out there. It's to highlight it to you. It's great that you are able to work through these issues on your own. It's great that you can sit there and decide for yourself what it is that you do and do not like. However, the part where it becomes something more negative is when you start thinking in terms of anger, fear, revenge, that kind of thing. Because then, rather than getting rid of the things that you don't like, you're then getting more of it instead. Now, I've gone a bit off track because, I'm just really distracted with a lot of things that are going on around me. I don't watch the news. I don't watch the TV. I don't listen to radio. I don't read the newspapers. So everything I pick up on is either from online sources, such as YouTube or Twitter, Now, I'm very aware of fake news. My profile on Twitter is all about being a fake news network, which is fake. But it's talking about news. So I'm very aware of the situation with fake news. Where I am different is I know that all news or all experiences are in my experience, because I need to work on something at some level. Now, this is where the healing video for the elite comes from. Now, I don't know if any of them will watch. I don't know if any of them will care. But I'm reaching out to the mothers and the fathers, the grandmothers and the grandfathers of these groups of people who were never given the choice to be something or something else. Some people had this thrust upon them. Like the general public, they have this thrust upon them. I sit there and I think, how would their daughter react if they knew? How would their grandchildren react if they knew? But then you get to this dark part of the internet where people are threatening 10-year-olds all over the internet, and that's apparently okay when you're having a go at the grandparents or the parents for something that has nothing to do with the child, nothing to do with the people around them. I don't understand that sentiment at all. Like, if I was to see one of my relatives go through something, or to know one of my relatives was going through something, and then people were trying to judge it as negative, then, I would want to get involved. But at the same time, you can't go around seeking revenge if you are trying to make things better. On a deeper level, these people, do they know that they're poisoning their own children? Do they know that they're poisoning their own families? Do they know that they are being misled because they are under the belief that something good will come of their actions, which in the long-term spiritual side of things, all experience is necessary, not just the parts that some people like. It sounds perhaps not very nice to speak of such subjects, but the truth is, if nobody highlights it, then who is actually going to sit there and say, oh, well, at least I tried? Because by seeking revenge, you're not trying anything. You are just continuing and drawing out the same line of thought, the same collective energy, which builds up. That's what the Akashic Library is. I think it's called that, the Akashic Library. This is supposed to be a place where all experience, regardless of which part of the spectrum it is on, and all parts of the spectrum, in all universes, everywhere, for any given place or any given anything. It's a storehouse of all of this, and without some of it, you can't have all of it, if that makes sense. You can't have hot without having cold. You can't have nice without having horrid. You can't have happy without having sad. Because the whole point of the experience is to swing between these two poles. That's the whole point. You're supposed to be learning to integrate both into one and being neutral about everything. Everyone, every situation, everything. Would they like it if it were them in this position? How do you think they would feel if they didn't have the financial backing that they have? How do you think it would feel to them if they actually fully, consciously knew what it is that they were lining themselves and their families up for? Like, do you believe some of these children really deserve to be dismembered? Do you really believe that they deserve to be melted just because of decisions that their grandparents or parents have made? Because if that's what people are thinking, then that's still not a reality that I want to be a part of. Regardless of who they are, it's not in my experience directly, so it does not affect me. Now, I'm not being heartless. I understand that things, really crappy things happen. But at the same time, I will not involve myself with anything that I do not like. I'm nearly 30 and it's Friday evening and I'm sat in my cupboard, happily sober, and I'm just sat here talking to myself. You really think if some of these rich people don't have their finances in the morning, you really think that's going to affect me? It's not. Even if they were all bankrupt by morning, it would not affect me. But what it would affect is how other people feel. So you can't even think in terms of that kind of revenge. You can't just take away everything from all of them. That in itself would be wrong. But again, you couldn't judge it as being wrong. So, anyway, got completely off track. Don't know if I'm still streaming. Don't know if I'm ever going to be watched for this. But if you are a member of the elite, if you are a member of one of these secretive people watching through the phones or listening through the microphones or using the household devices such as the fire alarms, you know, you really think that there's stupid enough people out there that don't know what's going on? Like, not only are they saying that their whole family and friend network are all too stupid to understand, but they're saying the whole globe is too stupid to understand. Now, I'm not going to say that that's in itself a negative thing, but, you know, just have a think with yourself. If you don't want to find out what negative karma will do for you, then I would say jump ship ASAP. Now, I'm not saying do anything drastic. I am saying that you should get out of it as soon as possible. You don't have to worry because you will be protected. Be the whistleblower, be the one who changes everything. I know that there's some people out there already doing so. There's so many wonderful people out there bringing out all of this information, and yet it's getting hidden by the same people. It's being ridiculed by the same people. I believe that everybody can make a choice. I believe everybody can decide for themselves, regardless of any outside influence. If you are able to sit there and understand and comprehend that you are alive, comprehend your name, comprehend your reflection in a mirror, then you are able to decide for yourself. If these members of the elite do not want to do what is right and what is necessary at this point, they only have a limited base of options that they can go through. Very, very limited. Absolutely everything is about to go through an intense energetic shift from one stage of this kind of reality to the next level of human experience. Anything that is under the necessary quota of service to others, they will not be coping so well with the incoming higher frequencies. Now, with that in mind, I don't want anyone to have to experience anything negative. I don't want your grandparents, I don't want your parents, I don't want your children, I don't want your siblings, I don't want your pets, I don't want your homes, I don't want the areas that we live in, I don't want any of it to be harmed, I don't want the earth to be harmed. I want nothing but peace, joy, unity and love. Now, it might sound like a pipe dream to some people. It might sound like I'm a new age hippie or something like that, but I have only this now moment that I can express myself to you, whoever you are. Now, I'm reaching out to you in the hope that you will understand that we collectively have to do this. We all need to be thinking the same way. Otherwise, it's no way for anyone. With that in mind, here is the healing energy for the members of the elite who require assistance from of a spiritual nature in order to break free from the constraints of the industry that they are in or the influence of implants or others. Having said that, I'm going to now set the intention to protect from harm all children, all pets, all staff, all friends of the people who I'm talking about. I set protection of the highest order with the power of I am to each and every single member of their family. Apart from that, for them to receive the healing, they have to, first of all, listen to the entire video. Otherwise, I'm not going to allow the energy to come through me. Secondly, if they want to do something that will change everything for the better and come out of this actually looking quite good, then they need to work on it, because let's be honest, times are shifting already. That's all I can say. Now, apart from the protection, I also want to give them full realization of everything else that's going on. You really think some of these children actually know what everyone else is getting up to? Maybe some of the teenagers, remember, they go through their kind of goth, I'm gonna slash you stage. Like, I can think of some very famous people who have gone through that stage and come out of it, and they're absolutely lovely, wonderful people now. Not to say that they weren't before, but they didn't know what was going on around them. They found out, and then they broke away from it. And I commend them. I have so much awe and respect for people who do stand up and do what is right, regardless of how it's going to look upon them. So here is the energy for the elite, or I'm going to rant on. Now, message to the elite. Breathe in slowly through your nose out of your mouth and simply accept the healing. The healing itself will be to remove any implants, influence, cords, and connections to anything negative. I send you great love and gratitude for taking part in changing this. Breathe in through your nose and out of your mouth. Think of your children and your grandchildren. Do they not deserve better? No offence, if you know you're going to be dying in a few years, why would you leave them to that? Change now. Not in the future, change now. I believe in you. I forgive you. I love you. Change the world with me, with the rest of us. Breathe in slowly through your nose and out of your mouth. For anyone who knows about visualization, you just visualize sending the implants away to source. That's all you need to do. Just imagine them pouring out of your body and going away to be transmuted into something positive with source. Do it while you can. Forgive yourself and others. Be the loving, high vibrational being that you came here to be. Don't be swept up in this. You're not going to take any of it with you. You realise that, don't you? And to those saying, oh, they sold their soul, they don't own their soul. None of you owned them, so they're not up for sale, regardless of how many contracts on earth you sign. It does not matter. You don't own the soul. You'll have to excuse that rumble sound if you heard it. It's the energy exchange going on. Breathe in through your nose and out of your mouth. I'm going to give you enough time for another song. But then after that, if you want more help, you will have to contact me or someone else who does healing. Because there's not very many people who are going to help you at this stage. And deep down, I think you know that. I could honestly cry for some of you, but it's just not right to. Just let me help you, or let someone else help you, but you really do need to do this. If you don't, then you know what's coming. Do you really want to risk it? Breathe in slowly and breathe out slowly. And so I crazy times when I'm lying in bed just to get it out of what's in my head, and I'm feeling a little peculiar. I don't usually sing, but I'm distracting myself from the visuals I'm getting at the moment. Send all of the implants, all of the connections, all of the ties, all of the contracts, all of the karma. Send it away now. Send it through one hand and let me send it back to source to be transmuted into something positive, something light. Don't carry that with you. If you carry that with you, like I said, and there is such a thing as karma and karmic debt or karmic feedback, then you don't want to be caught in that, do you? Let's be honest. I've got cold air coming out of my feet. For revolution. And so I cry sometimes when I'm lying in bed just to get it out of what's in my head, and I'm feeling a little peculiar. And so I wake up in the morning and I step outside and I take a deep breath and I get real high and I scream from the top of my lungs of what's going on. And then I said, send it all away. I can feel resistance. Just send it away. You do not want to be carrying that with you. Be on the right side of where you seriously want to be. Your human self. Thinking of your family. Regardless of which origin you're actually from. Just think of those that you actually do feel for. Few final seconds and this is it for the healing video for the elites. 25 years and my life is still trying to get up there. every big hill of hope for a destination. Now, that is the end of that. Thank you for viewing. If you need more help, just let me know. Thank you.